Hello young learner. My name is Bela, and I am 24 years old. Today, I want to share a very special story from my life. This story is about the day my brother saved my life. It was a sunny afternoon in my small hometown. I was only 8 years old then. My brother, Arif, was 12. He was my best friend and my protector. We did everything together. We climbed trees, played games, and laughed at silly jokes. But that day was different. It was the day I realized how much my brother loved me. I still remember the smell of flowers in the air and the sound of birds singing. Everything seemed so peaceful. But sometimes, life surprises us. Sometimes, danger comes when we least expect it. This story will show you how brave my brother was and how his courage saved my life. That day started like any other. Arif and I decided to explore the small forest near our house. It was our favorite place to play. The forest was full of tall trees, colorful flowers, and little streams of water. We loved the way the sunlight danced through the leaves. It felt magical. Let's go to the big tree today, Arif said. The big tree was the tallest tree in the forest. We called it the king tree. It had thick branches and strong roots. It felt like a castle to us. As we walked deeper into the forest, I held Arif's hand. I felt safe with him. He always knew how to make me laugh. Whoever gets to the tree first is the winner, he said and started running. I ran after him, laughing and trying to catch up. When we reached the tree, we sat down to rest. Suddenly, Arif noticed something shiny on the ground. What is that? He wondered. He picked it up and showed it to me. It was a small, old coin. Wow. Maybe it's treasure, he said, smiling. While we were looking at the coin, I heard a strange sound behind me. It was a low, growling noise. My heart started to beat faster. Arif, I whispered, something is there. Arif turned around and froze. Just a few feet away, we saw a wild dog. It was big and had sharp teeth. Its eyes looked angry. I felt scared. I wanted to run, but my legs would not move. Arif held my hand tightly. Stay calm, he said softly. Don't move. The dog started to come closer. My fear grew stronger. I thought, what will happen to us? How will we get out of here? My brother stayed calm, but I could see the worry in his eyes. The wild dog growled louder and stepped closer. My heart was pounding like a drum. I clung to Arif's arm, trying not to cry. He looked at me and said, Bela, listen to me. When I tell you to run, you run as fast as you can. Don't look back, okay? But what about you? I asked, tears filling my eyes. I'll be fine. Just trust me, he said with a brave smile. Arif picked up a thick branch from the ground. He held it tightly like a weapon. The dog was only a few steps away now. It bared its teeth and growled again. Go! Arif shouted. I started running as fast as I could. My legs felt weak, but I didn't stop. I heard Arif shouting behind me, trying to scare the dog away. I also heard the dog barking loudly. I wanted to turn back, but I remembered Arif's words, don't look back. I ran until I reached the edge of the forest. My chest hurt, and I was out of breath. I looked around, but Arif was not there. I felt panic rising inside me. What if the dog hurt him? What if he's in trouble? I thought. I stood there, shaking and crying, waiting for him. Minutes felt like hours. Then, I saw him. Arif came out of the forest, holding the branch. His shirt was torn, and there were scratches on his arms, but he was smiling. "Are you okay?" he asked, running to me. I hugged him tightly and cried. "I thought I lost you," I said. "I told you I'd be fine," he replied, patting my back. The dog ran away. "It's all over now." In that moment, I realized how brave Arif was. He had faced danger to protect me. He didn't think about himself. He only thought about keeping me safe. We walked back home together, holding hands. I couldn't stop looking at Arif. He was my hero. "How did you do it?" I asked. "Weren't you scared?" He smiled and said, "Of course I was scared. But I had to protect you. You're my little sister." That's what brothers do. When we got home, our mother saw the scratches on Arif's arms. "What happened?" she asked, worried. Arif told her the story. I watched as he explained everything. He didn't make a big deal out of it. He just said, "It's my job to keep Bela safe." Our mother hugged us both tightly. "You're both so brave," she said. Then, she cleaned Arif's wounds and made sure he was okay. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about what had happened. I felt so lucky to have a brother like Arif. He had risked his safety for me. I realized how much he loved me and how much I loved him. The next day, Arif and I went to the forest again. This time, we stayed near the edge. We didn't want to take any chances. But even though I was still a little scared, I felt safe because Arif was with me. "You're my hero," I told him. He laughed and said, "And you're my little troublemaker." We both laughed, and it felt good. The fear from the previous day started to fade away. As I grew older, I often thought about that day in the forest. It taught me many important lessons. First, it taught me about bravery. Arif showed me that being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you face your fears to protect the people you love. Second, it taught me about love. Arif's love for me was stronger than his fear. He didn't think twice about putting himself in danger to save me. That kind of love is rare and precious. Third, it taught me about gratitude. I realized how lucky I was to have a brother like Arif. Not everyone has someone who would risk their life for them. I decided to never take him for granted. Now, as a 24-year-old, I still feel the impact of that day. It shaped who I am. It taught me to be brave and to stand up for the people I care about. It also taught me to appreciate the people who love me. Sometimes, I tell this story to my friends. They are always amazed by Arif's bravery. "He's like a superhero," they say. And they're right. To me, Arif is a real-life superhero. Whenever I face challenges in my life, I think about that day. I remember how Arif stayed calm and brave. It gives me strength. It reminds me that I can face anything if I have love and courage in my heart. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it touched your heart. This story is not just about danger and bravery. It is about love, family, and the bond between siblings. It shows us that we can be heroes in our own way. We don't need superpowers. We just need love and courage. I also hope this story helped you learn English. Remember, stories are a great way to improve your language skills. You learn new words, practice listening, and understand emotions. Keep listening to stories, and you will become better at English every day.